Hey guys, Huzz here, bringing you another video. This time, part 2 to the Q&A, the July Q&A. That is kind of the birthday special. My birthday was on the 5th. And firstly, I do apologise that this video is coming out a couple of days late. As I did say, I wanted to get this out on the 6th, but was a bit busy. But yeah, this is probably going to be a short Q&A video, but let's go on it again. And just to remind you, I'm not putting any music in the video. You can put your own music if you wish to, as everybody has their own personal music taste, so that's probably what I'm going to do from now on. So, first question, the lol guffer. Hey Huzz, do I live with your mum or do I live with my mum and dad, or in my own apartment? I live in my family house. Lived in this house for a couple of years, and yeah, just live at home really. I'm looking forward to move out, but I do like this house. You know, you get your own space when you want it. You know, got my own room that I'm pretty much always in. And you always can have your own space if you want it. But yeah, I can't lie that I am looking forward to have my own place. Don't know when it will be, but yeah, I am looking forward to it. Thanks for the question. Next one by Eurovaka25. What is my favourite t-shirt? Okay, I don't really have a favourite t-shirt. If I had to say one, I have no idea where it is. But it's the Avatar one. So on several videos, I may have already worn it. That has all the 4 Avatar. Like this is a Silverstone one that I've got on right now. But there's 4 different Avatar elements. So you've got fire, earth, water, air from the world of Avatar: Legend of Aang and Legend of Korra. If I had to say one T-shirt, it would be that. So guess that answers the question. Thanks for it anyway. Next one by Parker Kramer. How did I get into WoW, and what is my favourite colour? How did I get into WoW? Basically, 2008 probably was when the first time I ever played WoW. Burning Crusade. Basically, I was a RuneScape player, and if you could say a decent RuneScape player, that I had like a lot of high levels, and that was like when I was in year 8, I think. And one of my friends said, "I'm playing WoW, and you should come try it out." You know, or like. Literally, in years 7 and 8, RuneScape was massive. Like, I was in the sports teams back then. Everybody in the sports teams was even playing RuneScape. It was crazy. It was like Pokemon of the 90s, but RuneScape. But then I jumped onto WoW, obviously enjoyed it a lot more, and hey-ho, it's history. I started playing WoW instead of RuneScape, which is sad because I have a lot of gold on RuneScape to this day. Like, a lot. Like, my old account that I've had since, like, I think it was like 99, the first year of RuneScape ever came out. I had one of them party hats that were given out in 2000, and I got rid of it. Nobody knew how the value would be, like, amazing. And I had it, like, for several months, and I think I sold it to some guy for not very much in, like, year 2000. Where, like, if you play RuneScape still to this day, you probably know how much a party hat is worth. So, yeah, you got a party hat. Like, party hats back in the day weren't even rare. You actually got them from I think it was the Millennium event, if I remember correctly, or the Christmas event. I can't remember, but it was something like that. It was out of Party Cracker, if I remember correctly. And what is my favourite colour? My favourite colour is Irish green. You could probably call it British racing green as well. I just love the way that it looks. You know, when talking about having my own apartment and stuff, eventually when I move out, I know that I'm probably going to get a 2-bed apartment that I'll only use one of the bedrooms, and the other bedroom will be my gaming room that has like all my setup and Xbox and everything in it. And I know that room is going to have green walls. Already know that. That's a weird thing to say, but yeah, I love the colour green. And so yeah, but I don't think I'd ever have a green car unless it's like an Aston Martin or a Jaguar. I don't know why. So thanks for the question. Next one by the Kylor, I think. Do I think patch 4.11 will bring back champions like Zac, Amumu, Maokai, etc. to the LCS? And what are my thoughts on Bjergsen? Do I think they'll bring him back? We'll have to see. As I've always said, time will tell, you know. Dyrus, last night, they were TSM won a game, and he got interviewed. And Dyrus was very open that Dyrus is not an innovator in the top lane. He basically just copies people from Korea and such things, and he's just good at copying. That's pretty much what I do, and I'm very open to say that, yeah, I do a lot of research. I look at OGN, look what the Koreans are doing. I'm on probuilds.net every day researching builds, masteries, runes, and I just, like, copy it, and yeah, I do little tweaks here and there, but I'm not an innovator. I won't just suddenly go, I'm going to play Teemo mid when he hasn't been mid in like a year and he's going to be OP. I'll wait until I see something become OP, then I'll play it myself. So I don't know if they're going to be back in LCS. I have a hunch they will be, though. Maybe... I'd say Maokai maybe above all of them, because Maokai, I've played a couple of games with him now on the enemy team. You can't kill that thing. Like, Jesus Christ, he's a walking tank, literally. He's just crazy. So maybe Maokai. And what is my thoughts on Bjergsen? Bjergsen's a godlike mid laner. Arguably the best mid laner in NA. Obviously, he's a European, but I'd say in the NA LCS, I'd say he's the best. But out of... If I had to... Right, the 3 mid laners that everybody like rate godly, obviously there are others, and you may have your favourites, but Bjergsen, Faker, and Froggen. So if we're just going one from each, I don't know the other regions very well. I'd probably say Faker's the best, then Froggen, then Bjergsen. But Froggen and Bjergsen are very close, but I'd say Froggen is the king of CS. He will not miss one in lane, and somehow he just snowballs that into a lead, where Bjergsen is just more aggressive and actually trying to kill you, where Faker does everything. Like, that guy is a god. But yeah, Bjergsen is very good, and not many weaknesses at all. So thanks for the question. Next one is by HuzzyGames. Who is my favourite non-LOL channel YouTuber? Oh, wow. So those who aren't aware, I have been part of the YouTube community for, God, 5 years easily. That, I mean, like, I've only been producing, I've been making content on my own channel for just over a year. But I've been watching for many years. And if I had to say, like, I'm going to give several. I can't just give one, because I have way more than that. But ones that I think worth mentioning... that I'll actually put in the description below. You probably have heard like a lot of these people. First one, Jesse Cox. He started as a World of Warcraft person that did beta content for Cataclysm. He's great. You know, he's entertaining. His series are funny. He's a funny guy himself. You know, he's just great. And he's someone that, when I started doing YouTube, even though I do completely different videos to him, I remember watching some of his videos over and over again, just to get an idea of how you actually speak to nothing. Because right now, I'm speaking to a mic. Like, I'm talking to you guys at home, but I'm in my room talking to basically a screen. That is a hard thing to do a lot of the time. Now, I'm not great at it. I know I'm not. I've got to get better. But he's someone that I actually watch to try and get myself being better. And I'll no way copy him, but just picking up tips every now and then is good. So, Jesse Cox, Total Biscuit. I love the guy. People have mixed opinions about him, and that's what I love. He just speaks what he thinks. Obviously, sometimes he has gone overboard. Sometimes he'll hold himself back. But I followed that guy right from the start. Like, again, Jesse Cox, I've subbed to him when he was on 20,000 subscribers. Less numbers than me right now. Total Biscuit, I was in about the 50,000 sub mark. You know, all the channels that I'm about to mention, I've literally been subbed to them since the beginning of their channels, and it's amazing to watch people grow. And then the final one I'm going to say is Boogie2988. And his channel, I'd say, has had the biggest change, as if you are unaware of who he is, you may be aware of some of his characters. He does a character called Francis, and what you have to imagine, he's a massive guy. He's like 500 pounds, really big, and he has a character called Francis that does all rage videos, so you might have caught one of them, but you don't actually know that's not actually him, it's a character. The actual guy, Boogie, he's a great guy. You know, he's had a hard life, and he ate himself basically through depression, and that led him to being so big, and he just talks. You know, that's basically his channel. When I started, it was a gaming channel pretty much. He played Minecraft, he did rage videos all the time, but now he's turning into, like, basically giving advice, and you may go, how can that guy give advice? He goes, look at me, don't be me. And yeah, I love Boogie. So all of them three, I have massive respect for them, and you know, a dream of mine is someday to meet these people in real life. But yeah, definitely them three above, you know, above all of them. But I am subbed to a lot of people. Thanks for the question anyway. Next one by Scott LP. Am I done with Absolute Zero? No, I briefly answered this one in part 1, but again, me and Fi have spoke, and there is a chance that we're going to make a casual team You know, if we compare what the old Absolute Zero was to compare to what the new one will be, the old one was very much like push yourself, try to be as good as you can, enter as many tournaments as we possibly can, practice 4 or 5 nights a week, practice, you know, proper certain champions, spam them, which, you know, in the casual team, we'll still be going for wins, we'll still be entering the occasional tournament, we'll still be taking it kind of seriously, but there just won't be any of the pressure that we had before. We'll just be doing it more for fun than anything else, because Ranked 5s is really fun, because you're playing with a bunch of guys or girls that you enjoy playing with, hopefully, and it's a good fun. But yeah, there's potential that we're doing a casual team. Whether that happens, I don't know. But yeah, that is a potential. Thanks for the question. Next one is from Berserker7245. What do I think that most people in silver to gold really need to improve on? So this is quite a cool question. I actually regret not putting this like just sub question in on episode 0 of the Unranked to Gold series. Basically, everything, you know, every single player in League needs to prove on everything. Even challenger players, they need to prove on everything constantly. Everybody is always getting better. But the thing I'd say that stands out the most in unranked or silver to gold is item builds and grouping. Them two things I think are very important. Item builds for one, like throughout the series, we saw some awful item builds. You could tell that people may have never played that champion before, honestly have never researched that champion before. Yeah, just item builds were generally quite bad. Like in Diamond, I still see some item builds that are a bit iffy, but especially down there. And then, yeah, grouping, when to group, when not to group, when to go for objectives. It's hard to teach that in solo queue because you don't have any communication. But like in Diamond, everybody will just suddenly turn up at Dragon without anybody saying anything because everybody knows the time is right to do Dragon. Well, obviously the people in Silver to Gold is less experienced, therefore they don't really know it's time to do Dragon. Which you can't really teach. That's basically just playing more and you'll pick it up. But yeah, item builds and just learning when to group. Like if you are in top lane and you see your team is grouping and you have teleport up, just to be a bit more active about using it. Just have a little look every now and then. So thanks for the question. Next one is by Stoyan. What do I main for each role? I think I've answered this in a past Q&A video, not obviously part 1, but like a past one, a past month. But if we briefly go over it again. Top lane, my mains, obviously I've got more mains in top lane than any role right now. Shyvana, God, I actually haven't been playing League of Legends that much in the past couple of days. I've just had a couple of days off. But if I bring League of Legends up to remind me, Shyvana, I'd say Renekton is still fairly high in my priority list. I'm just going on my CMOS stats. So yeah, Shyvana. Lee Sin technically for top lane, Jace definitely, Aatrox is up there, Rengar a little bit here and there, and Aurelia there for my top lane. Jungle, Lee Sin, Vi, Elise, pretty much them three. Mid lane, I'm actually swapping it up a little bit because someone did ask me a question, I think it was in part 1, that said, am I going back to mid? Yes, I am looking to play a lot more mid than I used to. And one of the champions that I'm going to definitely be picking up 100%, and I've been looking forward to playing for quite some time, is Twisted Fate. And Twisted Fate has come back into popularity. And I've played 2 games. I've played 2 normal games. One on my birthday, and then one yesterday on the 6th. Both, I've only played 2 games the past 2 days. Both on Twisted Fate. The one on my birthday, I went 17-1-4. Fairly good score. And then the one yesterday, I went 9-9-11. So quite a lot of deaths, but I'd set up quite a lot of kills. And I love Twisted Fate. If you're a great TF and you're porting around the map, getting kills, there's no better feeling. So yeah, I'll be definitely picking up him more. He'll be becoming one of my mains. Ziggs, Syndra, and Orianna, probably. AD carry, probably my least played role of this season. But if I had to give a couple, then it would be probably Draven, Twitch, and Jinx. And then for support, Thresh, and Thresh. Honestly, I don't really play anything other than Thresh if I can help it. You know, I can play every support, but Thresh is definitely my best. My Karma's okay. My Nami's okay. My Lulu's actually quite good, but she isn't really played as support anymore. But yeah, thanks for the question. Hopefully that answered some things for you. Next one by Pele Scott. Opinion on Quail Coats, the new jungle item that comes with a ward. Honestly, I think it's pretty cool. It's bringing back the tank video, or the tank meta, sorry. And it's giving more diversity to the jungle. Like, a lot of what happens if you're playing a Mumu, you're playing Maokai. If you're against an aggressive jungler, they'll just try to find you in your own jungle and kill you early on. So if you go into the early game with a Quail Coat that has a ward, and then also you have the yellow trinket, you've got 2 wards that you can permanently have in the entrances to your own jungle, so you can see if an aggressive jungler is trying to come kill you, which I think is really, really helpful. So I'd say it's pretty damn good. Thanks for the question. Next question by Sebi Lipan. I think that's how you pronounce it. Can I make WoW videos? We answered that in part 1, but potentially I am. My friends, God bless their souls type thing. Basically, I resubbed to WoW, as you know. I actually paid for a level 90 boost. You know, it's legit now. If you're unaware, you can buy it in the Blizzard store that you can get a level 90 character straight away. I made a mage, because I'm going to start maining mage. And then my friends spring the thing on me. Oh, Huzz, do you want to play Guild Wars 2? We're all going to start playing it again. And I'm like, really? You tell me this now? I just paid 40 quid for a mage. So I actually have been jumping on Guild Wars 2 a little bit as well. I'm basically playing a little bit of both, just kind of deciding what I want to do. Like, I have actually joined a raiding guild on my Anachronous Alliance. And they're actually like one of the best raiding guilds on the realm. So who knows? I might just play WoW. But obviously I won't have any of my old friend group with me. And then the next question by Sepi, and maybe continue the unranked to gold series, but gold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to diamond. Probably, like, I'm not gonna do it like. It's hard to say. So basically, we did the unranked to gold, and now the series. I'm gonna say right now, people are probably asking when is the platinum or gold to platinum starting. I've already played 1 game on the account, but I didn't record it. I'm gonna do another game. Oh, I'm gonna start recording them from tomorrow. Sorry. So tomorrow I may actually do like 2 or 3 episodes that I record. So I'll start producing gold to platinum tomorrow. They may start coming out on Wednesday. And basically, you know, the series may go to diamond, but it's going to be unranked to gold, 1 series, gold to platinum, another series, platinum to diamond, another series. They're just going to be separate series. But who knows? Season 4, next season, I may do a complete unranked to gold, unranked to diamond series on my main account. That may be something that I could do. That I do all my placements exactly the same that I just did, but on my main account. So we'll have diamond level instead of like gold. So yeah, thanks for the question. Next one. This is the guy that I think I always pronounce the name wrong. Anders Kjolestan Hansen. I think I did it wrong again, but anyway. Am I still going to be top lane or going back to mid? Kind of answered that. And how does the LP system work? How much LP you win or lose? So we've answered the top lane mid thing. I'm still going to be playing top lane. I'm going to play a little bit more mid than I normally used to. I'm going to be playing everything, just having fun, obviously, is going to be my main goal now in League. And then how does the LP system work? This is what a lot of people rage about, especially in the Unranked to Gold series, that are like, oh, I did the same as you and I got bronze. There's a lot of things that go into it. So, LP, League points. Basically, how it works is off your MMR. Now, someone that may just go like, what the hell is MMR? MMR is matchmaking rating, I think. So it's hidden. You cannot see this number. There are websites to get a prediction, but they're never really that accurate. But basically, it's a hidden number that's how you get people in your game. Everybody has the same MMR rating, and all it is, and this is how it works, of my understanding, say Team A has 2,000 on an average MMR, 2,000 MMR, and Team B has 2,100. If Team B has higher MMR than Team A and they win the game, they won't get many league points because they were rated higher anyway. If Team... I'm getting confused. If the lower rated team, so the 2,000 team beats the 2,100 team, then they're going to get more league points because they were expected to lose. That's how it works, and it's a bit confusing. But it goes off your personal MMR. So, like, say if yours is 2,000 and you win the game, and the average on the enemy team was 2,200, you're going to be getting a lot of MMR. And it also works with loss streaks, win streaks, all that type of thing comes into consideration. The only thing that does not come into consideration, from our knowledge, is how you actually did in the game. It doesn't matter if you go 0-30 or 20-0. That has no definition of how many league points you'll get. It all goes off your MMR if you win or if you lose. It's kind of confusing, and that's the knowledge. Hopefully, it's always hard to explain how it works, but that is the answer. So there you go. Next one by Alexander Akvist. So if I decide to main mid again, I really want you to play Zed. This guy is a Zed guy. He's played 600 ranked games on Zed. So if I went mid, would I play him? I'd only play him if Exhaust gets nerfed, because honestly, right now, and I don't mean to offend if you're only a Zed player, Zed is kind of useless if someone knows how to play against it. Right now in the mid lane, if you think of ADs in the mid lane, Yasuo is better than Zed. Kha'Zix in the mid lane is arguably better than Zed. Talon is actually arguably better than Zed right now. Obviously, you can still do well in solo queue. I'm not denying that. But he's just really easy to play against. You know, you take Exhaust against him and you can kill him really easily. But yeah, he's one of my favorite champions to play. Like, honestly, the way that he's played, my Zed is very rusty. You know, he played in one of the unranked to gold games. Yeah, I'm really rusty on him, but I would like to play him if Exhaust does get nerfed. So hopefully that answered it for you. How long have we been going? We've been going, God, about 20 minutes or so. Next one, we've only got about 5 odd left. So next one is by Philippe O. Martins. Am I doing any more guides like the Wukong guide? If I am, which champion? And secondly, what do I think of the new Spirit of the Ancient Golem? Is it better than the old one? And which champions is it worse, better on? So will I be doing any more guides? Yeah, I will be. You know, I've been a little bit busy. You know, I'm starting to go to the gym again. I'm getting used to it. Being fairly tired, honestly, from doing it again. And I've just got to kind of organize my time a little bit better, which I will be doing. But yeah, definitely I'm going to start making guides, and I've actually been thinking about making one in this week. That's why tomorrow, which is the Wednesday, I'm going to make hopefully 2 or 3 gold to platinum commentaries that will basically be like nearly a week's worth of content if I spread them out a little bit. And if I like combining that with some Valiant Hearts, that is literally a week of content that I have already prepared. And that week will give me a whole week to make a guide, and that's the plan. What champion, you may ask? No idea. There are several that I have in mind. You know, one of them is Shyvana, because I've played quite a bit of her. One of them is Jace, because I played quite a bit of him. I've got a few that I have ideas about, but I've also got ideas about just not champion guides. I'm talking about like role-specific guides. So if you're brand new to top lane, I'll just talk about how to play top lane. What does it mean to be a top laner? And I'm also going to probably start doing tier lists for specific roles that I play when a new patch comes out. So if you've ever watched like Fi, he does like a top 5 or a top 10 for AD carries when a patch comes out. I'm probably going to end up doing that for top lane and potentially mid lane if I start playing it a little bit more. So yeah, thought I'd mention that. And then the second one was Spirit of the Ancient Golem. Is it good, and what champions is it better for, worse on? It's pretty damn good on pretty much all the champions that used it before. It's just better. It's a better version of what it used to be, honestly. I don't think it got really a nerf in any way, or not really a major one. Yeah, it's just good on any tank that you want to play in the jungle, and it's really good on just early aggression, because you may think, oh, early damage is good. It is, but like if you have, say, an Elise with Spirit of the Ancient Golem versus a Lee Sin with Elder Lizard, probably the Elise is going to win, because just the sheer tankiness of the item kind of outscales the damage, because Elder Lizard really does get outscaled if you don't snowball. So yeah, thanks for the question. Next one by Brom. God, if that's your name, that's amazing. Brom Blom. What are my thoughts on Ezreal after patch 4 Well, the recent patch. Ez is pretty good if you build him in the right way. I know Gosu on, like, I'm not Gosu, or whoever, I'm the real Gosu. Good AD carry player, solo queue player. He put a build order list on all the AD carries in the current patch. And pretty much IE is essential on every single AD now. But I know he didn't have it in his build, but Essence Reaver I know is very strong on Ezreal. And I'm a Cutie Pie has been building it. Like, he's been rushing it. Then I think he's been getting a Frozen Gauntlet, and then he's been going for IE, which is a pretty damn strong build. I still wouldn't put Ezreal up in, like, the god tier of AD carries. I'd still put Tristana above him, Caitlyn above him, Jinx above him, like, pretty much everything, nearly everything above Ezreal. But you can still do well with him, definitely. So hopefully that answered it for you. We've got 4 left. So yeah, I had more than I actually thought. But next one by Ewan Pictures. Did Jack's nerfs change anything? And is there any champions that are out of the meta that I would like to bring into the meta? And what would I have them change? Jack's nerfs have obviously changed a little bit. His lane phase is a bit weaker than it used to be, which actually could be a big difference. That if you're like a Renekton, you should be able to win your lane even easier versus a Jax. You should be able to kill him several times in lane, excuse me. But it doesn't really change late game. Late game, he'll still kill everything. Late game, he'll be the best 1v1er in the game. It's Jax. You know, they haven't done anything to his damage or his attack speed or anything like that. It's just to his, I think, base health per level and armor per level, if I remember correctly. So yeah, that won't change anything. And then, if any out-of-meta champions, what would I have them do to bring them back in? So if I bring up League again on my other screen, having a look through the champion list. So yeah, Zed said it earlier, if Exhaust gets nerfed, or like, I'd say Exhaust is too strong right now because AD carries are especially having a hard time as it is. But yeah, I'd say nerf Exhaust. That will help Zed come back into the meta. Other champions, I'd say Aatrox. Maybe just a little bit of a buff, a little bit of a scaling buff. So maybe attack damage per level may help him a little bit more. Because he's great in lane, but his damage kind of does fall off unless you build a lot of damage items. But in the current meta, you kind of have to build tanky or you'll get absolutely slapped. So, yeah, they're the only two that I can really think of. Darius. Darius, if you're a top laner, right, and all top laners kind of agree, Darius is one of the most fun top laners to play, period. But his scaling is absolutely terrible due to his lack of AD per level and all that type of thing. Buff that, bring Darius back into the, like, bring him into the meta, and trust me, all like top laners will start playing him, 100%. Next, thanks for the question. Next one is by Harry Marson. Hey Huz, have I been watching the World Cup? A little bit here and there, honestly, not a lot. I've always been someone that much preferred playing sport than watching it. That actually, it's the opposite for League, because I love watching League, but if I watched football, I watched rugby, cricket, whatever, I've always preferred playing it rather than watching it. But I've watched little bits here and there, but not too seriously. Next one by Stefan Haas. What is the best thing to do as a jungler when all lanes are pushed out and there are no good ganking opportunities? I kind of think that I might have answered some of these last time, but I can't remember. So if I have answered these again, I apologise, but they're all on a Word document, and I think I pointed out when I started and finished. Best thing to do is, farm your own jungle, or I'd say the definite best thing to do is run into the enemy jungle and find the enemy jungler. It's likely that if your team is pushing all lanes, they're winning them lanes. That's kind of what that means. Like, they've got more pressure, they're winning the lane phase, they may even be poking under tower. They're winning. The worst thing that can happen to your lanes at this point is let the enemy jungler gank. So if you go into the enemy jungle and find them, fight them, and hopefully, yeah, you won't die. Maybe you'll even kill them. But if you just distract them, you both get low, both have to go back into the enemy jungler, do it again and again and again. You're distracting the enemy jungler and not helping, the enemy jungler won't be able to help his or her lanes, get back into the game. So that's probably the best thing. And that is the strategy Meteos actually uses the most. And then the final question is by, might be Arthur Abrahamson, but it's missing a H, is if I only had to play one champion for the rest of my life, who would it be? it would be something diverse. So it would be something like Lee Sin. That Lee Sin arguably can play jungle, mid, and top. Obviously, his mid is a bit rusty. You know, it's not really in the meta. But it'll be something like that. It'll be something that can play multiple roles that I won't really get bored that easily. Because obviously, if you only play like Ari or something, you'll only be in mid lane and you'll get bored really quickly. So something that can play multiple roles. So yeah, that's it. So anyway, that has been the July Q&A part 2. Thanks for all the questions. We'll be doing another one next month. So I'll see you guys then. New videos are coming out soon. And that's it. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. So goodbye.